Many Americans have this idea about retirement. It's a big goal you work toward for 40 years. You get to your 60s, you throw in the towel, and you go play golf or bunco. Well, according to the Stanford Center on Longevity, younger generations are in for a much longer journey. A recent report from the group suggests as many as half of today's 5-year-olds can expect to live to the age of 100. And over the course of 100-year lives, we can expect to work 60 years or more. Professor Laura Carstensen, now the director of the Stanford Center on Longevity and one of the authors of that study. It's so good to see you today, Professor. Look, you've got the average U.S. retirement age right now, 62, according to Gallup. So working to 80, that's a big change.
It's a big change. It's a big change. But for most people, it is impossible to save enough money in a 40-year work life to not have to work at all for 30 additional years. And that's the kind of future that we're looking at today. People will almost certainly work longer.
And we know from research that you spend more in retirement typically than you anticipate. So working longer makes a lot of sense. But if we're working longer, what does that mean for how long we go to school?
Well, we're going to need to change how we educate ourselves, and we're going to need to change how we work. So education is going to have to last all the way through our lives. There's no way that we're going to complete educations in our early 20s and then think we're going to be prepared for working 60 years. So we'll need education to be interwoven throughout our work lives, but we also have an opportunity to work less in any given week and any given day.
Do you think that this is also going to change the way retirement looks when you actually get there, that maybe it won't be just nothing but free time on your hands?
You know, there's no reason to think that 30 years of free time is good for people psychologically. It's good for people to work, but it isn't good for people to work the way we work today, which we pack way too much work in the middle of life. And then we say, bingo, retirement, and now nothing's expected of you. What we need to do is to have more flexible opportunities, abilities to work part-time throughout our work lives when we're parents of young children, and then to work more at different stages in our lives. And then we need kind of flexible off-ramps so that people may come to work 10 hours a week or 12 hours a week, but many more years.
Well, flexibility has started to become the key word for the pandemic. Maybe we can get started on that for retirement as well. Professor, thank you so much for your time. Merry Christmas.